Hello everyone, I'm back with another diet update. So let's get started. So I weighed myself and I've gone from 158.9 back down to 158 again. I'm not exactly sure what I did right. It probably has something to do with the fact that I only had one meal yesterday. And yeah, that's my best guess. But yeah, pretty good. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alrighty. Well, what was eaten today? In the morning, I had 2 eggs on 2 keto toasts, the Arrow Wheat brand. It was pretty good. I double toasted the Arrow Wheat toast to make them extra crispy, so that way it would distract from the sawdust aftertaste. Next, I had later in the day some keto caramel squares, once again, the Chalk Zero variety. I had like 3, I believe, or 2. Nah, I think it was 3. Then I had cauliflower keto fried rice. So basically, there was some frozen cauliflower, riced cauliflower, which is basically just grinded up cauliflower until it resembles rice vaguely. You throw it in a pot that's filled with half a cup of water, little pot, pan, I guess. You cook that for like 10 minutes until, and like it melts and breaks down, so that way it starts like, softening, and you just kind of, spoon it and eat it, and you stop cooking it as soon as the cauliflower pieces are tender. And as soon as they were, I looked up a quick recipe on YouTube. I found one where you put the cooked cauliflower rice on the pan, you put fish oil and, or fish sauce, soy sauce, you mix them together, you put them to the side, then you put sesame seed oil on the other side, crushed garlic, crushed ginger, and you kind of cook that, and then you mix them together in the same pan, and then afterwards you bunch it up on the side of the pan again. You put a little bit of butter on the side, and then you crack an egg, and then you kind of just break the egg apart and scramble it on the pan until eventually it's mostly cooked, and then you mix that in with the cauliflower fried rice, and boom, you have it. And I will be the first to say this is the first keto alternative product I've eaten where I can effectively say I would genuinely eat this again. It was extremely flavorful, it was very good, it was very low carb, and it was very low calorie as well, at least when it came to the cauliflower. I'm not so sure about the sesame oil and the fish sauce or any of that, but yeah, everything else was pretty low calorie, low carb, and that was really cool. Like, I like that. But yeah, that was basically my dinner. And later on, I had ordered some Chalk Zero peanut butter cups. So they're basically like the other Chalk Zero products, except they have actual like peanut butter that's sweetened with monk fruit in these little peanut butter cups. So I'm like, okay, how hard is it to mess up peanut butter and chocolate? So I ordered them, and they came in, and I tried them, and I will say they are pretty good. I like them, but I will say that if you are expecting them to taste 100% like a Recess, you're going to be disappointed. But if you're expecting them to taste like a decent alternative that you could still tell is somewhat of a health version, but if you just kind of ignore the health part and just eat it and you enjoy it for what it is, then it's pretty good, I would say. I liked it fine enough. What I found weird though is when I was eating it, there was like the peanut butter looked kind of opaque and white in the middle. Whereas like when I eat peanut butter from something like a Recess cup, the peanut butter is more bolder orange, and the crushed peanut butter in the middle is more crumbly on the inside. Whereas this peanut butter looked like they ground it into an extremely fine paste, which I thought was an interesting choice. But there you go. And I had 5 of them. The serving size is 2, and 2 is 130 calories. So that would mean that I had like about 320 calories about of worth of these peanut butter cups. But I did like them, and they were pretty good. I had them with some macchiatos that I made with almond milk and allulose with monk fruit, and what was the other thing? Pumpkin spice mixed together. It was really good as well. I liked that. And then the last thing I had were some cheese sticks, courtesy of my mom. She got a Tillamook cheese block and cut it into these sticks, and a little bit of olives. That was the last thing I ate today. And then I took my vitamins. So, yeah. Now that we've covered everything eaten, let's get on to the workouts. Any workouts. I did do a 15-minute full body stretch routine, and that felt pretty good. And then immediately after, I went on a 15-minute non-stop jog, and I felt pretty good after that as well, although I was getting really hungry after that. And yeah, so I made myself that cauliflower fried rice and drank some water. Yeah. Oh, and I did some meditation breath work afterwards too. But those were the major exercises done. I actually got all my steps in just by jogging for 15 minutes, if you could believe it or not. Pretty crazy. Well, yeah, those are pretty much the things, the health update, part of the health update that I'll share. Now let's just do the daily update. So I woke up at 8:30. I was told by my mom that she was contacting AAA so they could come over to check on my car, because we need that worked out because I need a car. But at an hour before he would arrive, so I took a shower really quick. When I was done and got dressed and everything, we greeted the guy, and he just turned the ignition and then just tapped on the gas, and then the car immediately started, which I thought was like pretty crazy. For whatever reason, the car wouldn't start without doing that, but as soon as you tap a little bit on the gas, it would go. Very bizarre. But he asked me if I was still okay with having it towed over to my desired car shop location, or if I felt safe enough to drive it. So I said I'd give it a test drive around the neighborhood. So I did that, and everything seemed to be good. I thanked him for his service, told him he had the magic touch, which he thought was pretty funny. And then he left, and then my mom left for work. And before I would go to the car shop, I decided to take some breakfast. So I made 2 eggs on 2 keto toasts with a cup of coffee. I had that, and that was pretty good. I really liked that. And after eating that, I needed to use the restroom, so I did that. And when I was done, it was time to go. So I went in my car and I drove off to go get my car checked on at this place my sister recommended. The drive was about 15 minutes, which is a much steeper drive than the car shop I normally go to, which is much closer, like 5 minutes. So when I arrived, I went into the office, and the guy who was the administrator was talking with an older lady who must have had her car dropped off, and they were discussing things, and I was just waiting. When she was done, she went into the waiting area, which was a really wide area. And then I went up and I greeted him. I said, "How you doing?" He said, "Doing good." I was like, "I'm doing good myself." And then I told him about the issues I was experiencing. And after he heard that, he said that a official diagnosis would cost $190. Yeah. As soon as I heard that, my mind immediately went to, I do not have that kind of money. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to call my original auto shop that I normally go to. The only reason why I wanted to try this new one out was because my sister said they had good deals on oil refills. But based on what I encountered, that would, at least their checkups don't seem to have good prices. But I don't know, maybe she just so happened to get a good deal at that time, but I don't really know. But anyways, so I called my shop. They said they'd immediately check on it. So I drove the car all the way over there. I greeted the man who was there. He said he was going to check it in. Just had to sign off some paperwork. I did. Then I walked home because my home was close enough within walking distance. When I got there, my sister was there as she let me in. And I was basically spending most of the time spending some time with my sister. And then after that, I wanted to show her a video from a YouTuber that I enjoy called Lemon. So we watched that. We thought it was pretty funny, but also very true, very interesting, and very entertaining. And then after that, I felt compelled to write in my journal about my different tasks I want to do today. I wrote I wanted to do a 15-minute jog, like I said yesterday. I wrote that I wanted to take out the recycling, and I also said I wanted to mow the lawn. And then a little side thing was do half an hour of Brain Jam extra editing. So when I had that list finished, I decided to go on my jog. I said goodbye to my sister. And I went on my jog for like 15 minutes while listening to the soundtrack to the video game Parappa the Rapper, because there's some songs in there that really get me like pumped up to run. And yeah, it was a good time. I really enjoyed it. Very much so. So as soon as my 15 minutes were up, I felt really invigorated, but also really exhausted. Probably because it'd been a while since I'd eaten. But before I decided to eat something, I thought it would be an interesting idea to do some breath work after arriving. So after I got some water in me and, was trying to cool down, I decided to lay on the floor and start doing a 42-minute long breathwork session. And this one was pretty intense as it went on. Like, I genuinely felt more and more immersed in the breath work, and it got to the point where I started to see red ribbons around my vision, like in real life. Like it was really like a deep, super deep meditation. And then like patterns forming and then going. And they're the kind of patterns that you'd see on like a rug. You know how they put like a pattern on a rug? But this pattern was like appearing like right in front of my eyes, like, and then flashed for a bit and then went away. It was quite an experience, and yeah, all I can say is I kind of want to do it again to see what else might happen. But yeah, that was a pretty good time. But after that breathwork session, I got up and I was super hungry, so I decided to make some keto-friendly fried rice with cauliflower rice. And I followed a recipe online, I cooked it up, and it ended up being really good. My sister arrived just in time as I was finishing it up, and I offered her some. She only wanted a bite, but when she tried it, she told me she thought it was really good, and I agreed. So I ate that while she decided to make eggs on toast. We had a nice chat, and then after that, I decided to take the cans and bottles that were in the house out into the front and recycle them in our recycling bins. So I took the cans, I crushed them, I threw them in, and I did that for a pretty long time. Yeah, I'd say like probably 15 minutes. And after I was done with that, I put everything away, and then I needed to mow the lawn because I promised my mom I would mow the lawn in the morning before she left for work. So I mowed the lawn until it was nice and clean, and then afterwards my sister left for work right when the chocolate peanut butter cups arrived for Chalk Zero. So I tried those, and she brushed her teeth, so she wasn't able to eat, but she sniffed them and she said they seemed to smell really good. And then when I tried them, I thought, oh, they're pretty good. I think I might like them better than the Quest. And she asked me why. I said, well, I think it's because the Quest's peanut butter cups used erythritol as the sweetener, and because they used erythritol, not only did it make them more expensive, but at the same time it gave me the Bubba Guts. Whereas these ones, as far as I could tell, they don't give me the Bubba Guts. So that's why I like them more. So she was like, that makes sense. So once she was done getting dressed and she left, I pretty much made some coffee, or not regular coffee, but a macchiato with peanut butter cups. And I sat in front of the TV and watched a Digital Foundry video reviewing the GTX 7800 GPU. And it was like being reviewed because it was like the flagship GPU for a really long time, because it needed to maintain relevance throughout the entirety of the HD console generation of the PS3 and the 360. So I thought, well, that's fascinating. It's always interesting seeing how game graphics kind of evolve, and there's something very nostalgic and comforting about seeing these old like games like Battlefield 2 and Fear, all like they look old, but at the same time they look exciting and new. Like they somehow managed to look like ahead of their time and extremely like futuristical at the same time being retro. It's a really unique aesthetic where you can tell that the people who were working on the game knew what they were doing was very forward looking, but the technology was still a bit of a restriction for them at that time, but they were doing the best they could with what they had at that time. And I just find that kind of stuff fascinating. I think it's really cool when humans really push the limits of the technology they work with at the time that they have. Yeah, but anyways, after watching that, I found a video that was recommended to me of this guy who played every single Harry Potter game. So I was like, I'll watch that. Why not? I guess I was really bored. So I watched this thing. It was like a really long video. What kept me entertained throughout was that the guy would cut to him live streaming the games he was playing, the different Harry Potter games, and he was cosplaying as different Harry Potter characters and putting on accents based on those characters, like Snape and Dumbledore and other characters that I'm forgetting the names of because it's been a long time since I've seen those movies. But that was entertaining spice in the video that I really enjoyed. It made them more pleasant to watch because you're like, ooh, who's he going to imitate next? And ooh, that's a funny voice and funny impression. I like that. And also, the guy went above and beyond when recording footage for his portable, the portable games for the Harry Potter series, because he like went to all these locations like the beach and like different areas of Britain, and just filmed himself in these wide cinematic shots playing these like licensed video games. Like, you know, he really committed himself to the bit there, and you gotta appreciate that dedication to the art for sure. Yeah, so that was fun. And then my mom arrived, and I greeted her. She returned from her Bible study. We had a nice conversation, and then I offered her a peanut butter cup. When she took it out, she thought they were already unwrapped, so she bit into them. I had to stop her, but she bit into them before I could stop, and she was like, why are they like this? And then she looked and she was like, oh, it's wrapped in tinfoil. So, yeah. Or not tinfoil, but a foil of some kind. So she unwrapped it, she tried them, and she thought, yeah, they're pretty good. So she suggested we watch something together. So we went on the HBO Max app on Amazon Prime, and we came across this movie called Mickey 17. So we decided to watch this thing. And Mickey 17 was quite a film. It felt like it wanted to explore like ideas about like people being disposable and like human right violations and like just intruding on land that you shouldn't intrude on, and you know, all this stuff. It felt like it wanted to just cover every single topic it could that was a political hot button issue, while also trying to tell a story about a guy who like keeps on having copies made of himself. It just felt really unfocused to me. It felt like it wanted to have a message about like how like workers are seen as like guinea pigs or expendable for the sake of like greed and power. And it would have been kind of interesting to explore that from those characters' points of view, but then it just kind of rolls off that and forgets about it, and then gets into more of a political like angle with like this you know, figurehead in the movie who wants to take out this species of like intelligent tardigrade aliens because he thinks they're vermin, and he doesn't like them. He just want to listen to logic or reason. It's very heavy-handed. It's not really that metaphorical or subtle in any way, and it feels like, even though there's like, you know, elements of where I can see what you're trying to do there, Bong Joon-ho, and when you do it great, like, wow, that's fantastic. But in this case, this movie just felt like the uncle at the like Thanksgiving party who is very passionately rambling about his beliefs on what he thinks about the current climate of the world, and he sometimes brings up some interesting points, but overall he kind of overstays his welcome and it just peters off and kind of just like, please, uncle, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, could you please go now? Yeah, it's kind of like that. But I mean, it was creative. It had some interesting world building in it. It was a unique perspective, but overall, watching it once was enough for me. Yeah, I wasn't super impressed with this one. Alright, well, anyways, after watching Mickey 17, my mom wanted to go to bed, and then I decided to take my vitamins, brush my teeth, and make my new video, which is what you're watching right now. So that's pretty much it, and I will have tomorrow off. My car will hopefully have its oil changed today. Luckily, the shop that I got to work on it, that I've entrusted with for my other repairs, they were able to check it and they did it for free, which I was very grateful for. Like, I'm happy I didn't have to, my car didn't eat me out of house and home. Now I'm waiting for the quota on the oil change. I'm hoping it's not too much, but I guess we'll find out. Well, that'll have to do it for now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Good night.